intelligence was there. The intelligence was serious, specific, and actionable. The intelligence was ISIS-K. This is what they told us at this time last night, almost exactly this time. ISIS-K wants to come to that gate and attack those Marines. Don't get near that gate. We could not stop it. It's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's right, Shep. It was rather remarkable, the fidelity that they did have with that intelligence. And you can surmise that, look, the United States still has very good signals intelligence coverage of Afghanistan. By that I mean they can intercept phone calls and computer messages. They own the mobile phone network, and that will continue. So they will still have that fidelity, and that may be where some of this intelligence came from. And the other factor here, of course, is that the Taliban is a sworn enemy of ISIS-K. These are rival organizations. And so this may be an instance where the Taliban even was cooperating and providing information to the U.S., but it underscores the precarious security situation that even though they knew it was coming, they couldn't stop it because they are inside the gates and they just don't have the same kind of footprint that they used to have in that country. And that really sort of underscores the situation going forward, Shep. Jen Psaki was talking about standoff capability for counterterrorism. Well, it's true that the CIA has waged a drone war against al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups over the last 20 years very successfully. And we've done drone strikes, the United States, in Pakistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen. But in all those countries, Shep, we had people on the ground, agents that were helping identify where the targets are, where they're going to be at a certain time. It isn't just satellites and signals intelligence, and we're not going to have that in Afghanistan, or it's going to be in a very limited fashion because there's no embassy. So there will be no CIA officers, or very few, going forward in Afghanistan. And so current and former intelligence officials tell me that it's going to be a really difficult slog going forward to gather intelligence on terrorist threats in Afghanistan, particularly related to al-Qaeda. Perhaps they will find the ISIS-K people that carried out this attack because it'll be in the Taliban's interest.
It sounds like they know who it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it'll be in the Taliban's interest to identify them. Yes, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they found those people and eliminated them because that's in the Taliban's interest. But when it comes to the hundreds of al-Qaeda figures, some of whom were let out of prison in recent weeks, who have close ties with the Haqqani network, which is essentially a Taliban organization, it's going to be really difficult for the U.S. to know what those people are up to, what they are plotting, and to find them and to kill them, Shep.
We're 2 hours right now from sunrise, and sunrise is at 5:22 a.m. in Kabul in the morning. And I wonder, you cover intelligence, I wonder what your intelligence sources are saying about their level of concern. I mean, they've told us openly and publicly, we believe these attempts will continue. What's that? I'm sorry? Oh, the flag has just been lowered at the White House as promised, and we have a camera up there that's been watching it as ordered by the president. Flags will be at half staff all across the nation, on all public facilities, on military bases around the world, to honor those who lost their lives, who were killed in action today in the support of freedom. You see that, and Ken, you think about the families they had just 3 more days or 5 more days. My son, my daughter, they're coming home. Tuesday is it, finally. And they died today. It's just heartbreaking. But I do want to ask you about tomorrow morning, because like I said, it's about 2 hours to sunrise. And what is your intelligence saying about A, their capabilities, and B, their intent?
They are deeply concerned, the intelligence community is, about ISIS-K. And in fact, Shep, 2 Taliban officials told our local correspondent in Kabul that the Taliban made a strategic error by facilitating those prison breaks, particularly at Bagram, where hundreds of hardened ISIS fighters and al-Qaeda and Taliban escaped. And these Taliban officials acknowledged, and we reported this today, that among those ISIS figures were sophisticated bomb makers. So this is a group of mostly younger fighters that believe the Taliban is not extreme enough. And they abhor any American presence. And we have 6,000 troops still inside that airport. And so they are a target. They're absolutely a target. And we have less capability than we had a month ago to collect intelligence around that airport. Now, the one silver lining is that there appears to be a functioning relationship right now between U.S. forces and the CIA and the Taliban. The Taliban is even, according to many reports, helping Americans get through. So to the extent that it's in the Taliban's interest to find and stop and help the U.S. stop these ISIS attacks, that's the good news. But the bad news is there are a lot of dangerous people at large in Afghanistan who want to kill Americans.